A Promise in the Forest, the story behind Rafa Sanctuary.
Ya hay otros tres.
One day, while riding a bike through the mountains with a friend, Andrea noticed something moving on the side of the road. When the bike slowed down and she looked closer, the truth became clear. 6 tiny puppies were sitting there alone. They were dirty, scared, and far too small to survive on their own. There was no house nearby and no mother dog anywhere around them. It looked like someone had simply left them there. The quiet road in the mountains suddenly felt very heavy because those 6 little lives had no one to protect them. Andrea and her friend looked at each other and understood one thing immediately. Leaving the puppies there was not an option. The problem was that both of them were on bicycles, and carrying 6 puppies down a mountain road was not easy. But kindness often finds a solution when people care enough. Slowly and carefully, they gathered the puppies and found creative ways to carry them while walking their bikes down the mountain. It took time and effort, but eventually the small group reached a place where the puppies could finally be safe. At that moment, the goal was simple: help them survive and find good homes for them. Andrea already had 4 dogs at home, so keeping all of them was never the original plan.
Sentado.
Soon, some of the puppies were adopted by families who promised to take care of them. For a moment, it seemed like the story would end happily, but life sometimes writes a different ending. Only a few weeks later, 2 of the puppies were brought back. Maybe the families were not ready for the responsibility, or maybe things simply did not work out. Whatever the reason was, seeing the puppies returned broke something inside Andrea's heart. Those little dogs had already been abandoned once. Experiencing that again would only make their lives harder. So, another decision was made quietly but firmly. Those 2 puppies would stay forever. From that moment, Andrea's dog family became bigger than expected.
Chapita. Chapita.
Around that same time, something much more painful was happening. Among all the dogs in Andrea's life, one held a very special place. His name was Rafa. He was not just a pet. He was the kind of companion who seems to understand every emotion without a single word. Then one day Rafa became sick, and the news from the veterinarians was heartbreaking. Rafa had cancer. The doctors said there might only be a few months left. Hearing those words felt like the ground disappeared under Andrea's feet. Anyone who has loved a dog deeply knows that they are not just animals in the house. They are family, friends, and sometimes the quiet support that helps people through life's hardest moments. Instead of letting sadness take over, Andrea decided to give Rafa something special. Rafa loved the forest more than any other place in the world. The moment he stepped into the trees, his eyes would brighten and his body would relax. So every weekend, Andrea took him there, letting him walk, smell the air, and enjoy the freedom of nature. Those trips became very important, but soon one thought kept returning again and again. If Rafa loved the forest so much, why should he only visit once a week? That thought slowly turned into a promise. Rafa deserved to spend his remaining days in the place he loved most. Andrea began searching for land in the forest, dreaming of a quiet home where Rafa could wake up every morning surrounded by nature. In a beautiful way, it almost felt as if Rafa helped choose the land himself. When the right place was found, it felt peaceful, open, and full of life. It was exactly the kind of place Rafa would love. Sadly, the day eventually came when Rafa's journey ended. Losing him was one of the hardest moments Andrea had ever faced. The silence left behind by a beloved dog can feel overwhelming. But even through the grief, something meaningful began to grow. The promise made to Rafa did not disappear with him. Instead, it became the beginning of something new. Andrea continued building a life on that land in the forest, slowly turning it into a place filled with animals, warmth, and care.
Y ellos creen que mi cama es un ring de box. Guácala, como este caca de gato. Qué asco. Ya quítense. No. Ah.
Today that land is home to 9 dogs and 3 cats. The farm continues to grow little by little, always with the same purpose: to give animals a safe place and a loving life. The name of the farm carries a story that will never be forgotten. It is called Rafa Sanctuary, a name that keeps Rafa's spirit alive every single day. His love became the reason this peaceful place exists.
Ya me tengo que parar. Petuchita. Petuchita. Ya me tengo que parar, mamachita.
Looking back, it is almost impossible to imagine how one small moment changed everything. On that simple bike ride in the mountains, Andrea could never have known that 6 abandoned puppies would lead to such a powerful new chapter. Those puppies became part of a bigger story of love, loss, healing, and hope. Sometimes life brings unexpected pain, but it also opens new paths that help people move forward. Rafa Sanctuary is still being built and improved, and every new step continues the promise made to a very special dog.
Sentados.
Stories like this remind people how powerful
Sentados.
kindness
No.
can be,
Sentado.
even in the smallest actions.
Rafa.
If this story touched your heart,
Sentado.
showing a little support by liking and subscribing helps more people
Sentado.
discover stories like this and spreads compassion for animals everywhere. Because sometimes saving one small life can lead to something far
Sentada.
bigger than anyone
No.
ever imagined.
Sentada.
Our team works hard behind the scenes to find and share real-life stories that truly matter. Every video is crafted with care, carefully researched, edited with trusted sources, and always treated with the respect these stories deserve. What you see isn't just made to inspire, it's meant to be real and meaningful.